Some familiar faces make their returns to their former homes, starting with LeBron James back in Cleveland. King James makes his lone visit on January 28th. He's the Cavs' all-time leader in points and helped Cleveland, of course, overcome a 3-1 deficit to win that 2016 championship. Next up is KD leading the Rockets into the Bay to take on the Dubs. Durant was a two-time NBA Finals MVP with Golden State back in 2017 and 2018 before leaving in the 2019 offseason. Durant has won in 3 of the previous 5 trips back to the Bay since that move. And then Anthony Davis will take the court in LA against the Lakers for the first time since being traded last February. Davis, of course, spent 5.5 seasons with the Lakers and was a key member of that 2020 title team in the bubble. And on the other side of that Davis deal, of course, was Luka Doncic. And what was the most shocking move in recent history? Luka will head back to Dallas for the second time since Nico Harrison and company decided to move on from the 26-year-old. He had 45 points the last time he was in the city, where he spent the first 6.5 seasons of his career. In his first return, we saw a very emotional Luka, understandably so. Perk, how do you think round 2 is going to play out?
I mean, I think it's going to be settled in. He's still going to want to go at them. Obviously, you always want to go at a team that you know that you played for, that you thought you was going to be there for long term. But I'm looking at the bigs, right? I think this is a big test for DeAndre Ayton and see where they stand, because you're going against that front line and Anthony Davis, Derek Lively, and Daniel Gafford. So it's definitely going to be must-see TV. Luka is definitely going to have it on his mind, but I'm looking at the bigs and the war down low to see if DeAndre Ayton could fill that gap that the Lakers been missing.
You know, oftentimes with, like, heralded #1 picks, they got too much hype. I don't think Cooper Flagg is getting enough hype. I think we should be talking about him more. I think he's going to be special, Captain America. He's just going to be something that will make it. You'll never forget about Luka, but they'll make them feel better. And I think he has a chance in this game to steal the headline and have the first major significant moment of his career.
UD, what do you think? How is this going to go over?
I mean, I'm going to take a page out of my late great mother's book, and it's time for Luka to forgive, but not forget. You go out there, you put your team in the best position. You've already started the process of being your best version. You've lost the weight. The Lakers put that money in your pocket. You just make sure your team win the game and continue to put the Lakers in the best position to make the playoffs and go from there. At the end of the day, it's real hard for me because I still hold grudges from middle school. But I'm going to say, don't take this one personal, Luka. Just move on, put the Lakers in position. You're the guy in L.A. for the next few years, man. This might have been the best thing that happened to you. Another thing from my grandmother, a blessing in disguise. Use this to be your best version and build on it.
I think it will be, and I'll say this. We've seen the revenge body. We've seen all the stuff he's done this summer. I think it's time for him to turn the page. He's really leaned into being a Laker this summer. He committed to them. So his story is always going to be about that trade and how he responds to it. And so this game, at some point, will just be another game. I don't know if we're quite there yet, but it's heading in that direction.
All right, and in case you missed it, Nico Harrison visited Pittsburgh Steelers training camp this week for the... Welcome to NBA Today's schedule release show. I'm Vanessa Richardson in for Malika Andrews. 1,200 games are on the slate this season, and we've gone through and pulled out the best of the best. Opening night sets the tone. Kevin Durant returns to Oklahoma City, of course, back where it all began, as SGA and the Thunder raise their banner on ring night against the Rockets. Then the stage shifts to L.A., where Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler lead the Warriors into a primetime battle with LeBron, Luka, and the Lakers. And that's just the beginning. For the 24th straight season, ESPN and ABC bring the NBA to center stage with some of the most electric matchups of the year. Circle January 24th right now. ABC's got a triple header worthy of the spotlight. Joel Embiid invades the Garden to face Jalen Brunson and the Knicks. Then it's a Western Semis rematch. Steph Curry versus Anthony Edwards. And, of course, the nightcap. We're going to have Anthony Davis back in L.A. How about that, where he spent 6 years? That's a good one. Jump to February 21st. The Rockets' revamped roster heads into the Garden, where Kevin Durant has been at his best throughout his career, averaging 31 points per game in the Mecca. The very next day, another ABC showcase. Donovan Mitchell and the Cavs meet SGA and the reigning champs. And Nikola Jokic takes the Nuggets to the Bay for a heavyweight clash with the Warriors. Oh, March 1st. This is going to be a good one. Wemby under the Garden Lights. Remember, he dropped 42 there on Christmas. 2 weeks later, a Western Conference Finals rematch. Anthony Edwards and the Wolves return to OKC to battle the Thunder once again. Got it? Good. 237 games will be on national television this season, but one of the biggest questions every year, who's got the most? Lucky for you, we counted. We have the list here of all the top 10 teams with the most national TV games. The Thunder, Lakers, Warriors, and Knicks all lead the way with 34. Following them are the Houston Rockets and Nuggets with 28 apiece. And below them are the Celtics, Cavs, and Mavericks. So many games to get through, but luckily we've got you covered. And who better to break it all down than senior writer Ramona Shelburne? We've got Hall of Famer Mark Spears and a pair of NBA champions in Udonis Haslem and Kendrick Perkins. So we're going to dive right in because we got a lot to talk about. 34 national television games for the Lakers, Warriors, Thunder, and Knicks. But Perk, which team is the must-watch team of the entire 2025-2026 season?
You smell that? You smell that? I can smell it because I'm down here. Damn it, the Trill Burgers are cooking. They got an easy money burger that's at Trill Burger right now. The Houston Rockets, who made the most powerful move this offseason by getting Kevin Durant. You already have Baby Jokic and Afro Şengün down there putting up that work, what he does in the paint. Amen Thompson is good for 2 to 3 highlights athletically every single night. And KD, a walking bucket, an artist, a magician, with the pieces they already have, Jabari Smith, every single night is going to be must-see TV when it comes to the Rockets on both ends of the floor. Ime Udoka is even going to give you some action every now and then because we know he like to get into the action and beef. The Houston Rockets are going to be the most watched team this upcoming season, in my opinion.
Man, I'm going to be honest with you, Big Perk. As much as I want to go against y'all Texas boys, I got to agree with you 1,000%. Great Pat Riley told me. Yeah, 1,000%, bro. The great Pat Riley told me no rebounds, no rings. This team was the top rebounding team in the league last year. He also told me defense don't guarantee anything, but without it, you don't have a chance. This team defended at a high rate. They got the defense, they got the rebounding, they got the coaching. The only thing they needed was a go-to guy down the stretch. So damn it, you go get the best go-to guy down the stretch that you can get in the game today. So now you fill that gap. I'm interested to see what this team does. You go get Dorian Finney-Smith. You keep your core together with Jabari Smith. You extend him. You got Amon Thompson coming back. You go get 3 centers. You got Şengün who can go get that work down there in the post. You got Capella who can go get those lobs. And you got Adams who beat the hell out of people on the boards. They addressed all weaknesses this offseason. I'm looking forward to watching them boys play too. I'm with you on that, Perk.
I don't know if I'm just nostalgic or because Steph's coming towards the last couple years of his career, but guys, to me, it's the Warriors. Do you remember how good they were when Jimmy Butler was traded when Jimmy Butler came over and traded? They're 23-7 after Jimmy Butler came over in that trade for the Miami Heat. Now, Steph got hurt in the playoffs, and they obviously didn't go as far as they wanted to go. But I want to see the Warriors back in action with Jimmy Butler with a full training camp. They were so good with him on that roster before Steph hurt that hamstring. And I know the Kuminga situation has dragged on all summer. It's gotten kind of ugly, but I expect him to be back on the team. And even if he isn't, Steph and Jimmy together have been great. And so I want to see how they come right out of the gates because the last few years they haven't started fast, but this year they have the potential to build up a nice lead in that West.
Who are the champions, my friend?
That would be the Oklahoma City Thunder.
The last time, and you just talked about the Warriors, the last time there was a repeat NBA champion was back in 2018. The Golden State Warriors. It has not happened since. Do these Oklahoma City Thunders have it in them to repeat? Everything changes for them. This is a team that didn't have great expectations. Now they got a championship. Now everybody comes in with a ring. They are known for their humility, but does that change? I remember in 2010, 9-10 season after the Lakers won, right?
Remember.
I mean, everybody knew Kobe had a PR person and Powell did, but all of a sudden DJ Benga and Meta World Peace had a PR person after they won. Yeah. Is that going to be like that for the Thunder? You know, their guys got paid. There's 3 stars or trio. They got up to potentially $800+ million. Do they change? Do they have the same humility? Do they have the same fight? Do they have the same kumbaya afterwards, after games, putting their arms around each other? I have to see it. And if there are cracks early, then this protective egg is going to have cracks that people are going to pay attention to. They are must-watch.
Very interesting. And you know I'm not going to argue with what UD and Perk said about the Rockets. I am surprised no one said the Lakers because only LeBron knows whether or not year 23 is his final year. Let's run through some of his key matchups. LeBron versus Steph will see 4 more chapters added this season. The first meeting coming opening night, of course, October 21st. The two will also meet on February 7th, the 3-year anniversary of LeBron James coming to all-time leading scorer in NBA history. LeBron will also renew his career-long rivalry with the Boston Celtics 2 times in the regular season. LeBron will visit the Boston on December 5th, while the Celtics will travel to LA for a second matchup on February 22nd. The kid from Akron returns home. This is going to be a big one to his beloved fans on January 28th for what could be his final trip there. James has averaged 31 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists in Cleveland as an opponent throughout his career. And lastly, LeBron will visit the Mecca of basketball at Madison Square Garden on February 1st. In his career, James has averaged
some of his best games. And also, that game last year is the game after they made the Luka Doncic trade.
Yeah.
Remember they played the Knicks in Madison Square Garden? It was a big game, and then all of a sudden, boom! Walk out of the post-game locker room, there's that trade.
Speaking of the Garden, we know that players across the league want their moment at the world's most famous arena. And this is where you can catch some of the All-Stars. Schedule right there. Ant-Man leads off the Garden Party, facing Cat and company in early November. And then Giannis, Ice Tray, Katie, Steph all get their shot at the Knicks. So I'm going to go to UD on this one. UD, the Knicks have the second shortest odds to win the East behind the Cavs, of course, and have the 3rd easiest strength of schedule in the league. What do you think is the Knicks' biggest challenge this season?
I'm going to go back to last year, and I'm going to go with them boys out of Detroit, the bad boys. Detroit basketball. Listen, I'm telling you, if Detroit wins Game 3 in Detroit, which they very well could have and should have, then we could be having a whole different conversation about how the playoffs went through last year. If you're a team like Detroit, a young team, you feel like you got slighted, you feel like you should have been in that spot, you do not forget about those moments. I feel like the Detroit Pistons have something going on. They're focused on getting back next year. Obviously, they brought in Duncan Robinson. I love Duncan Robinson. I love how he opens up Cade Cunningham. Duncan Robinson pulls triggers for Cade. Defenses overreact by the way he moves in his motor. I'm looking at the Detroit Pistons. I'm saying, everybody's saying, oh, the East is wide open. Oh, the New York Knicks. Oh, Boston is unhealthy. No, the Detroit Pistons sit right there saying, don't worry about it. We're going to be right there.
I'm looking forward to seeing Mike Brown on the sideline at MSG. He's replacing Tibbs. He has 2 new shooters that they need in Clarkson and Yabusele. But what is he going to do with this offense? You know, I can see Mike having an offense that makes everybody happy, not just 2 people happy. 2 talented people at that, but trying to figure out how to make them more well-rounded. And the expectations are sky high. They were in the East Finals. It's been since 1973. Knicks fans expect this team to go to the finals. And Mike certainly has a lot of pressure, but he's faced pressure before, replacing Phil Jackson and coaching LeBron James and putting some foundation cement in Sacramento.
Perk, how about Jalen Brunson?
How about both of their stars, right? And OKC set the bar, especially SGA and J-Dub, and showed that it's 2 sides of the basketball. And when you talk about the Knicks, you talk about getting rid of Tom Thibodeau, who was a defensive-minded coach, and this team wasn't really good defensively when it mattered the most, especially big-body Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns. If we're going to hold certain guys accountable around the league, we got to come with the same energy when it comes to those 2. They were getting cooked in the Indiana series. They couldn't figure out what they wanted to do with Karl Anthony Towns. Should he be in the drop coverage? Should he switch? Either way, he was getting cooked. Jalen Brunson, the Indiana Pacers, they were trying to search him out and pick and rolls and trying to find a mismatch to go at him. Those 2 guys, being the faces of the franchise, they got to get their stuff together and slide those puppies on the perimeter if this team is trying to go to the level that they're trying to go to.
Listen, I know Mike Brown from when he came into Los Angeles to succeed Phil Jackson. He's obviously not afraid of stepping into some big shoes or into pressure situations. But you guys, they were in the East Finals last year. They were renaming the streets outside of Madison Square Garden. The Knicks got so close, and people in New York could taste it. They are expected to get back to the East Finals and then advance. I mean, the expectations for this team are so high. And I know Mike Brown is not afraid. I mean, it's like, people don't know Mike Brown. He like rides his Harley Davidson around the country all summer. You may not think that from like from the nice suits he wears and stuff, but he's kind of a cool guy.
He could turn up a little.
But
Mike Brown can...
if they better get off to a good start, because when you get people in New York thinking that you have finally done it, that Jalen Brunson is the savior, that you're this close, and you don't deliver, ooh.
Some of the milestones that could be reached this season. First up, LeBron James has his sights set on passing Robert Parrish's all-time game mark. James is going to need to play in 50 games this season, a mark that he's completed in 21 of his 22-year career. All right, I'm going to go to UD on this one. UD, what would this record tell you about LeBron?
I mean, there's guys that like it, there's guys that love it, and there's guys that live it. The like it guys, they show up when it's time to be there, and they leave when it's time to go. The love it guys, they show up a little bit early, and they stay a little bit late. The live it guys, those are the guys that 24/7, everything is built about them being the best version of a basketball player.
Right,
I got a chance to see this firsthand in Miami with LeBron James.
Love it. All right, next up, KD. If KD can score 1,722 points, he will pass not only Wilt and Dirk, but MJ to move into 5th on the all-time scoring list. Perk, what would passing Jordan mean to the legacy of Kevin Durant?
When he scores the 1,721 points is the thing. But he's the greatest scorer of all time, in my opinion. 0 flaws offensively, and I know he's been going back and forth on social media saying he don't like being called the greatest scorer of all time. But damn it, to me, you are Kevin Durant, a walking bucket.
Finally, the Joker will need just 18 triple-doubles this season to pass Oscar Robertson on the all-time list. Mark, how many triple-doubles will the Nuggets need out of Jokic this season to win the West?
I don't think they need a record number because Valanciunas is on the team now. You know, Joker played a career-high 36.7 minutes per game last season, but with this big Euro vet behind him, doesn't need to. I think he'll get to drop his minutes down by about 4 or 5 minutes a game, which makes him better in the fourth quarter and better long-term.
All right, from big expectations to big games, here are the hottest tickets on average, according to Vivid Seats. The Lakers and Knicks had the highest average price for any game last season, the one that ended up being the last for LA before the Luka trade. But with all this ticket talk, there's someone on our panel that spies the hottest ticket of the season.
I'm Kendrick Perkins, better known as Big Perk, and nothing gets past me.
Freeze!
Just when you thought it did get past me, there I am. I spy a problem. I spy it all. Carry the hell on.
You damn right I spy something. I see something. I see some young bulls that have old souls, baby. And when I say old souls, I'm talking about their mentality, old school mentality. The hottest ticket in the game is when we watch Anthony Edwards match up against SGA. It gives me Jordan versus old school Pistons, Isaiah Thomas vibes. You remember what Anthony Edwards said after that series? He said, "There's no one in the offseason that's gonna outwork me." All of a sudden, we see the videos of him in the weight room. SGA, we know how he's coming. He got what Anthony Edwards want. Not only the regular season MVP, the finals MVP, and the NBA championship, and sent them home, and he's not going anywhere. When those two guys match up, it's a problem. Here are the dates. November 26th, must-see TV. December 19th, damn it, we gotta be there. January 29th, March 15th, it's gonna be must-see TV. You know Ant-Man is coming, and SGA is not going anywhere. Like my grandma say, they got old souls, baby.
Love it. All right, we've covered a ton of games we're all looking forward to. But, UD, I want to start with you on this. What's the best matchup upcoming this season?
Well, you know I'm an East guy, so I'm going to stay out here in the East. And I'm looking back 2 years ago in the 2024 playoffs, and the series went 7 games with the Orlando Magic and the Cleveland Cavaliers. And I'm looking at the Orlando Magic team, and I've been saying a couple years that they're one player away. So is Desmond Bane that one player? Paolo Banchero, if we remember, Game 7 went for 38. Donovan Mitchell went for Game 7 went for 39 in that series. These two teams have made the improvements. They got the coaching. They went out and got Ball. They went out and got Hunter, where I really believe that's going to help them this season against bigger guards. When you look at what the Orlando Magic did, when they went to go get Desmond Bane, this is not a guy who only can stretch the floor and give Paolo Banchero and the other guys space, but this is also a guy who can run some point guard for these guys and initiate and get these guys into offense. So I'm looking at these two teams with everybody saying the East being wide open. I'm looking at these two teams, and I'm asking these young superstars, Paolo Banchero and Donovan Mitchell, to make the next step and take your teams to the next level.
Now, there were two teams that took the Thunder to 7 games, right? One of them was in the Western Conference, the Denver Nuggets. I'm really looking forward to those games. To me, the Denver Nuggets are the biggest foe, the biggest challenger to the champs. They add Cam Johnson, two-way. Their defense got better. They got Valanciunas behind Joker. He could start for a lot of teams. Brown's back. Then you got Christian and Strother taking steps. This is a better Nuggets team. This is a team that had them at a Game 7. This is a team that has been a champion in recent years and a team looking for revenge. All those matchups could be potential Western Conference Finals matchups.
And so the producers go hate me, Jaren go hate me for this, but the best matchup in this NBA season is the whole entire Western Conference. Let's be real. It's stacked. Every single game is going to matter in the Western Conference. No slow starts, no guys sitting out, because every single night you're going to have to strap your shoes up. So I'm looking at two teams in the West. I'm looking at the Clippers. I'm looking at the Lakers. It's always fun watching the battle of LA. The Clippers are still known as the little brothers, although they got their new arena. How's Kawhi going to look? Is he going to be healthy throughout? We know how LeBron James is coming. Seem like he's excited about their roster and the moves that they made. We seeing skinny Luka. Ty Lue feels some type of way. He want to fly under the radar, but yet he'll call me on the phone and tell me keep disrespecting the Spurs and I'm going to show you. So I'm looking at that matchup and I'm saying to myself, that's always one, but the entire Western Conference is going to be a battle and a brawl for it all every single night.
Well, Perk, you know I'm going to talk about the Rockets, right? Mark, you know I'm going to talk about them. I'm excited for Rockets Clippers, okay? James Harden walking out on the Rockets, and now the Rockets are revamped, baby. They've got one of the greatest ever in Kevin Durant. You've got a team full of veterans with the Clippers, and then you've got a team with the Rockets that were able to retain the majority of their young core. You've got two coaches, both that are former players, in Ime Udoka and Tyronn Lue. You've got everything that Jeff Van Gundy, the ties to the Rockets, and what he's been able to do with the Clippers defense. So I'm excited for that matchup. Perk, like you said, everything with the Rockets is going to be must-see TV this season, but that Clippers matchup I'm pumped for. All right, and you're going to have no shortage of the #1 pick on your TV screen this season. The Mavs have 23 national TV games, which is 10th most in the league this season. But let's go beyond the #1 pick. Our amazing research staff crunched those numbers on some trends so you don't have to. Let's go in the bonus, baby. The team with the longest road trip next season is the Lakers. They have an 8-game getaway between January and February. That's brutal. They also have the longest homestand with 8 straight at Crypto. Here's the kicker. Their road trip is directly followed by that homestand. So I guess it all evens out. All right, Phoenix may have a tough road ahead. They have a league-high 8 straight games against teams who finished 500 or better. So that stretch for the Suns tentatively goes from the end of November through December, pending, of course, those NBA Cup results. Cleveland is coming off a 64-win season, and this year boasted the longest streak of games against teams with a losing record last year. So Cleveland is going to play 8 straight. They start on Halloween against opponents who were all under 500 last season. And Boston's outlook for next season is set. We know Jason Tatum will miss time, but the Celtics have the easiest strength of schedule and are tied for the fewest back-to-backs. The Celtics have the longest active playoff streak, 11 straight seasons. As for the most back-to-backs, that's a 5-way tie highlighted by the Sixers. And we know Joel Embiid has stated in the past that he's done playing back-to-backs, having not suited up on consecutive nights since January of 2024. So the NBA season is a marathon, certainly not a sprint. But Ramona, which team, when you take inventory of what you just saw from our research department, which team absolutely cannot afford to get off to a slow start?
I mean, you just mentioned the Philadelphia 76ers, right? Last year, about this time, we were all on TV saying they won the offseason. They got Paul George. This is the look for them in the Eastern Conference Finals. We obviously know how that worked out. Joel Embiid got hurt. Paul George got hurt. And, Jared McCain had a nice season before he got hurt. They ended up with a lottery pick. That was the only salvaging thing here. But Joel Embiid, from what I understand, he had a surgery. The rehab was going well. But Nick Nurse said today at an event over at Basketball Without Borders over in Europe that he's not sure if he will be ready for the start of training camp. Now, that that judgment that I've also heard about Embiid. Nobody wants to say anything in the middle of August about whether he's going to be ready for the starting training camp, how many back-to-backs he could or wouldn't play. It's early now, but I think we're in the place now with Embiid where we just got to see it. Like, nobody's going to predict anything with him until they actually see him back on the court. And I don't know, it feels like I've read that story before, especially with Paul George also recovering from
always about injuries.
May not be ready for the start of training. I've heard this before.
I mean, look, I just left the nursing home a couple weeks ago from visiting my grandmother for her 90th birthday, and I saw Nicholas Batum and Chris Paul there. Okay, that's what we talking about. The old folks, the Clippers, the old folks, the Clippers, right? Think about the Clippers and think about they're the oldest team in the NBA. Right, and that time is now. When you think about Kawhi Leonard, James Harden, like they need to get it done. In the tough Western Conference, they don't have room to be sitting out. They don't have room really for guys to be injured. Every night is going to be a war. This is a team that I feel like needs to get off to a hot start and come out the gate swinging, because it could come down to the stretch and one game could keep you out of the play-in tournament to get into the postseason, or one game could keep you out of the sixth spot and get you into the play-in tournament. And I feel like this team needs all the rest that they can at the end of the season, so they need to be in that top six.
My choice is the Los Angeles Lakers, and it's because of what you said earlier, Perk. Every night out in the West is must-see TV. Every night out in the West is going to be a slugfest. When I look at the teams in the West, everybody got better. You saw what the Denver Nuggets did by going to get help for Joker, by going and bringing back the other guys that played there, by going and making a trade for Cam Johnson. You see what they did. You see what the Clippers did by going to get Bill. They bringing in Chris Paul. They went and got Lopez. They went and got Collins. You see Minnesota when they got another year, when they bring Julius Randle and another year on this belt in the playoffs. We saw what Houston did. Everybody in the West got better. Yes, the Lakers addressed their problems with size by bringing in DeAndre Ayton, but we will see how that fit works, and we will see if they got better. What I will say is, if they get out to a slow start, the King gonna be a little bit disgruntled. So we're gonna see how that goes. So what I would say is the Lakers cannot afford to get out to a slow start in the West, period, because of how good the West is, and two, because you don't want to piss off the King right now.
That Western Conference is a bloodbath for sure. All right. If we know one thing about NBA players, they have, we'll call it long memories. So let's take a look at some possible revenge games on the schedule. Wemby had to watch this clip all summer. The dunk came after the whistle, but that doesn't mean he won't want to even the score. Wemby will get his first shot on November 18th when the Spurs host the Grizzlies. Okay, and the finals rematch should be enough. But Jalen Williams might have this one on his mind when the Pacers and Thunder face off. You think, Ramona?
I remember that one.
Their first meeting is in Indy, and it is on ESPN. Yep. All right. A playoff rematch, Knicks at Pistons for the first time on January 5th. You think Detroit fans still have this Jalen Brunson dagger in their nightmares? Yeah, he's known for doing that.
Absolutely. He's clutch player of the year.
Yep. All right. The Lakers won't have to wait long to see Ant-Man, Anthony Edwards. They host the Timberwolves in their second game this season. That's going to be on October 24th. Jackson Hayes probably still hasn't forgotten this dunk.
Yeah, good thing DeAndre Ayton will be out there trying to defend that this time.
All right, and you know the Clippers were thinking about this play for the past 3 months. Aaron Gordon, stole Game 4 of that 7-game first-round series. That was a great series. LA gets a shot at revenge on November 12th. That game
I was sitting right in that corner, and I still can't believe you made that.
Game's going to be in LA, and personally, I wouldn't want to be on Draymond Green's enemies list. Alperen Şengün might be. After this poster, I'll be. The Warriors host the Rockets on November 26th. That is going to be a good one.
He's the best I've ever seen.
How did he sin? You've heard of winning time. Well, this is magic time. Dribble behind the back. What a play. Magic.
42 points, 15 rebounds, 7 assists. He starts at center and leads the Los Angeles Lakers to a world championship.
How many more of these would you like to get under your belt?
About 20.
Hey, right, today is Magic Johnson's 66th birthday, and the Magic Man has been living it up this summer. I'm sure you all have seen.
Every summer, I look forward to his Instagram feed from
Oh my gosh, Barcelona, Spain, flexing on all of us on a yacht, getting buckets. I hope I can still be this cool when I'm in my 60s. I mean, that's like the ultimate flex. So to honor one of the greatest point guards of all time, we give you the top Magic moments. Magic with, of course, a rich history of finals moments. Let's go to 1980, his first finals, Game 6. Magic
playing center.
Magic steps in for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who was injured. Drops a casual 42 points and 50
At what
rebounds.
Position?
Center.
As the Lakers win the title.
He's 6'9", though.
First finals MVP for Magic. Let's go to 87.
Come on, man.
There it is.
Magic with the game-winning skyhook in Game 4.
Over the double team with Perry.
I'm an Indiana girl. I hate this one. Over Larry Bird gives the Lakers the 107-106 win. Magic's
play all 5 positions. Who else did that?
Go on to win that series 4-2 with Magic getting that third finals MVP.
Ooh. Come on, look at that pass.
Look at those passes. Magic
Ridiculous.
with sweet one-handed bounce pass to Jamal
Gotta be ready.
All of the great assists over the years. We can't
Byron. Okay.
Byron had ups back then.
Behind the back dishes to Byron Scott, who absolutely throws it down. And then another insane pass by Magic.
Excuse me.
Look at that. Oh
Kurt Rambis.
Yeah, man.
Kurt Rambis shout out.
With the goggles.
You never know who we'll be talking about on NBA Today. They need to bring back the
Forum Club.
The crowd can't believe
Ramona
it.
used to go to Forum Club.
I did actually once or twice.
Really?
Yeah.
See, Ramona can party. You could party with Magic. 1981, 1982. Magic nearly averaged a triple-double for the entire season. Also won his second finals MVP.
Oh, that no-look pass. You know, I grew up watching Magic as a kid. When I went to play in high school, I started throwing no-look passes, and my coach goes, "Don't you ever do that."
Ramona, I don't think we're talking about the same Forum Club. You weren't in that Forum Club as a kid.
Yeah, not in the back.
Yeah, he won his third finals MVP that season, too. Now let's go to 88-89 season. Magic wins his second regular season MVP, averaging 22.5 points, 12.8 assists, and 7.9 rebounds for the season. Shout out to Magic and happy birthday indeed. Keep embarrassing all of us on our Instagram feed. All right, our next ABC WNBA game is Sunday afternoon, 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific. Paige Beckers and the Wings will be in Vegas taking on Asia Wilson and the Aces. All right, sticking with the W. There was a championship showdown between the Liberty and Aces last night. Asia Wilson and the Aces taking on the Liberty under 7 minutes in the second quarter. Aces up 27-26. Chelsea Gray misses the 3. Wilson with the rebound, finishes through traffic, plus the foul. Wilson fired up. Aces up 30-26 after the free throw. All right, under a minute left in the first. Jonquel Jones drives on Wilson and dumps it out to Leonie Phoebish. Liberty up 43-40 at the half. Jackie Young, you see in transition, pulls the 3. Aces up 1 after that free throw. Under a minute left in the third quarter. Liberty up 2. Jackie Young turns it over. Natasha Cloud pushing the break. She finds Kennedy Burke for the layup. Liberty up 63-61 going into the fourth. Aces up 2 right here. And then Baseman with the bad pass that is stolen by
this win real bad.
Lloyd, 21 points off the bench, by the way. Aces win their 5th in a row, 83-77.
Best one of their season?
You have to, even without Breanna Stewart, I think that's a heck of a win.
Asia Wilson has been on an MVP-level tear over her last 5 games, putting up nearly 24 points and 14 boards a night. Her impact has been felt as Vegas has now won the season best 5 straight games, and they're just 2 games back of 3rd place in the league. All right.
That's all.
On to Seattle Dream versus the Storm. 2 teams fighting for playoff seeding. Dream on a season-high 5-game win streak. Sue Bird and Megan Rapinoe sitting courtside. Under 30 seconds to play in the third. Dream lead 59-54. Ryan Howard is going to step up and knock down the 3. That puts the Dream up by 8. Let's go to under 10 seconds to go in the third. Dream up 62-54.
Pass that in.
I mean, look at that.
Oppie.
Howard hits 3 threes,
nobody wants to play the Dream in the playoffs. Nobody. They
don't want to see the Valkyries.
No. Dream win at 85-75 for their 6th straight win, and Howard ends the day, by the way.
Valkyrie's hot.
Did you notice they passed the Liberty last night?
Look at these standings. Janae was talking about this yesterday.
The Dream that expansion team, though.
The Dream move into 2nd place in the W standings. They have the easiest remaining schedule in the WNBA, according to ESPN Analytics. The Lynx, by the way, have the best record, but also have the toughest remaining slate down the stretch.
The Dream is 2nd?
And check this out. It was good timing that the Fever were off last night. Caitlin Clark, a loyal Swiftie, was among the 1 million plus viewers who tuned into the record-setting New Heights podcast, which marked Taylor Swift's first ever public interview in 2 years. She posted on social media, "Swiftie's so powerful, we broke the internet." Clark, 23, wrote Wednesday night on X in response to her message from the afternoon that read, "Are we sure YouTube isn't going to crash?"